When the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arrived on the shores of the UK, they had a problem. Ninjas were violent, bad people, and they would influence the youths, and won't someone please think of the children? So they thought about the children, and they came up with the most childish reaction they could. They removed any mention of the word ninja from the show, changed the title to Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, re-recorded the theme song, and since nunchucks were banned from appearing on British television, they edited them out of any scene involving Michelangelo. But hey, it worked. No one ever thinks of needless violence when they think of Britain anymore. We watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ah, the French champagne.
Can you tell me which members of the Reservoir Dogs you two are currently dressed as?
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
Classic
Spielberg.
Classic Spielberg.
He needs to kill 94 different 65-year-old men over 2.5 years because those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Shake it! Shake it!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is... Well, when you put it that way, it sounds like a dumb pairing, you know?
That's the name of the films.
That is the name of the film. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 and 2014.
We could have watched Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
I kind of wish we had. I never knew about this. Thank you, Sean.
Were they movies or just TV shows?
They just redid the TV show and edited out all the like nunchucks and violence.
Was this the cartoon or the live action one?
Cartoon.
Ah, okay.
I don't think there was ever a live action TV show.
Yeah, man, for sure there was.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I talk to you guys and I wonder what you guys did as kids.
I didn't watch this show.
I watched I watched an animated show for sure. Was it like based on these puppets from this?
I think it. We'll get back to the puppet thing in a second, but I think that it was a spin-off series. I remember watching, maybe it was like a couple of seasons. It was on Fox Kids on like Saturday mornings, and they even did like some crossover episodes with the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles.
One. This is okay. So we're way off topic already, but
great.
Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation was a live-action TV series which ran on Fox Kids from 1997 to 1998. It is the only series that the original creators of the Turtles think is bad. It is the only one that they're like, we're really sorry we licensed our product to be used in this show.
Oh yeah, it did, but it lasted what, a season, right?
A season, yeah.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Okay. So then I have to ask.
Okay. What?
Are you looking it up right now?
I just I'm just seeing like an image from it and it looks, it looks like claymation.
Isn't it the same puppets?
No, they would not get like Jim Henson puppets for that.
No, these are like something, I don't know, a weird like carnival would have.
Everyone at home, take out your phone and look up Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation.
Wowie.
Yeah.
Woo.
Anyhow.
Guys, what are you talking about? They look exactly the same. No, they don't. Never mind.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
You want to introduce us there, Jack?
Sorry, what now? Oh, yeah.
A
Like,
podcast.
hi. Right. Yeah, this is a podcast. This is Citizen Kane versus, where where we compare a movie that's more of a classic versus a movie that's more on the schlocky side, or in this case, that are both about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we ask ourselves, honestly, which is better? My name is Jack Rennie, and I'm joined by my two friends, one.
Sean Jacqueline.
And the other...
Daniel Benoit.
Yeah. And then... and that's it. That's the word. That's the podcast.
Thank you. We'll go now.
And
but yeah, thanks for tuning in. And if you've been listening at all, and even if you haven't until now, and you want to learn more, check out our Twitter at Citizen Kane VS on Twitter. Sean's on there a lot. You can find regular updates about things that we're doing when we go live on Twitch. He also calls Ted Cruz a jackass a lot. So it's a good time. Check out
Lately,
our
it's
Twitter.
been Doug Ford. Lately, I've been on, and any of the
Ooh.
conservative ministers. I've been on a real how close can I get to the line of being banned without being banned?
See, there's new content on Twitter. Check out the Twitter. That's all we're pushing to today.
I also feel like you can go pretty fucking far on Twitter before
Yeah, you just
get
can't make
banned.
personal threats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you
know.
might be close to that actually. So.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a lot of posts that are like, "I'm not threatening you here."
Yeah. But you're in danger.
Oh, great. So I pitched these movies because I pitched Ben-Hur last time I had picks, and like good for the pod because we got to get some classic of classics in here sometimes. But sometimes I want to be the guy who brings a little bit of. I brought like a children's episode.
Yeah.
This week.
You brought
for the kids listening.
two
at
identical
home.
variations on the
Yeah.
exact same children's film.
Correct. Yeah. And you know what? It was a gut instinct. I just wanted to, and I wanted to do the first kind of reboot, as it were, pairing. And I'm glad that somehow that the first reboot episode we did was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go ahead.
Well, I love that this is a podcast that discusses classic movies, and the
Yes.
first of all the reboots that there are to choose from, the first one you choose is the 1990 live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with a Mortal Kombat in theaters right now.
So true.
Ooh,
I mean, we're gonna
but,
get that.
But we can't see
I've-
it right now.
but I've
Right.
also heard that one is really good, so you can really
Really?
put that against the classic Mortal Kombat. We could do Mortal Kombat versus Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
That's a fair pairing.
You've heard the new one is good?
Yeah, I've heard it's the best one of all of the iterations of Mortal Kombat.
Okay, that's a
Who
different
did
bar.
you hear it from? I
Yeah.
think is the
It's the best of the Mortal Kombat
I'm
movies.
sure very impartial
Okay.
website. Yeah. I don't know. It was like Screen Rant or something. I have no idea.
All right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So Dan,
Yeah.
can you give us some summaries of these two movies, and I guess help
Yeah,
us
I'll
how they're
give-
different?
Yeah, I'll give you a summary. Ready?
In the red and blue corner.
Literally.
Okay, sorry,
yeah.
I'm ruining it. Okay.
In the red and blue corner, representing both the classic and the schlock. Two hungry journalists who sacrifice their careers and risk their lives to help a group of literal mutant ninja turtles in the fight against a Japanese supervillain terrorist and his unfortunately named Foot Clan to protect New York's wallets and DNA. Starring Judith Hoag and Megan Fox respectively, the original and Michael Bay reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Cowabunga, man.
Turtle power.
Turtle power.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Daniel.
When that banger came on at the end of the first one, I like jumped out of my couch. Have you guys heard of the group
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Digital
Turtles.
Underground?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
I could have sworn it was them, but it turns out it's actually a group called Partners in Crime, spelled with a K. KRYME.
Yeah, it's gotta have a Y. Yeah.
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 Oh, the
They're-
90s.
They're a sort of rap group at the end of the 80s. They know what they're doing. They know how to brand themselves.
Totally. Absolutely.
KRYME, crime.
So I think going into this right away, my viewing experience is different from probably, I think, both of your experience in that I never watched the show. I might have seen like half an episode when I was staying over at a friend's or something.
Wow.
I never watched the movies. I had no interest in watching anything that came out because of that in regards with this series. So I watched two of the weirdest films I've ever sat through with no prior knowledge to this franchise.
That being the case, I feel like the 1990 version was wasted on you because with no point of reference, that movie is a fucking. It's like a fever dream.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Dan just pulled up a stein of water on his camera also.
Yeah.
For those on Twitch or YouTube's.
Gotta
If you love
hydrate,
toothpicks,
Twarch.
we
And the
have
toothpick.
toothpick chewing to your heart's content right now.
Can you hear it?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
But that's kind of While I'm sad for your childhood, Sean, I am happy for the podcast because that's such an important point of view. And what a movie, let alone a pair of movies to be thrown in at the deep end with, because as franchises go, this one's pretty weird.
It's wild, but it's fascinating. I am really looking forward to digging into the old one, and like the new one's there too.
Yeah. Well, let's dig into them.
Okay.
So let's begin with our first round story. Good. Punching the bell today. Begin. So, Sean, as the fish out of water, in this week's episode,
there was definitely a turtle joke there you could have made instead.
Oh shit! Welcome to Citizen Kane versus.
Hey, all right.
But yeah, what thoughts, especially starting with the classic one, because this is one that I grew up with. I had this on VHS. I had the first one and the third one where they go back in time.
What?
Oh, they go back to feudal Japan. It's actually
that's really cool.
It's actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
They have a magic scepter. It's like whatever. The third one is garbage. I did not have it on VHS, and it's not good at all.
Do
It's
you mean
like
the second one? You said you had the first.
Sorry.
One.
The second one is garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The Secret of the Ooze, right?
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
But the third one is actually pretty dope too.
Okay.
So I grew up with these movies. I loved them. I had Ninja Turtle toys. Like this appealed to young little Jackie boy. So as someone who never had that experience, what was this like?
I kept forgetting the names of the turtles and which one they were. And especially because the red and the orange are strikingly similar, and the purple and the blue
Very close.
are strikingly similar.
Yeah.
So I was never quite sure. It was a little better by the second. I watched the old one first and the new one second. So I was a little better by the second film because I had 3 hours of turtle time by that point.
But the red one is easier to distinguish because he's so fucking angry all the time, right?
Yeah. And in the second and in the newer one, he's always wearing sunglasses on his head as well. Did you not notice that? It was driving me nuts.
I did, but also I noticed in the first one he had this like weird, inexplicable mobster fucking voice happening the whole time.
Yeah, they were all doing their best, like Long Island. Yeah,
a couple of them were, but some of them weren't. And I was like, "Where the fuck? How did one of you get an accent, but like three of you didn't?" A lot of TV.
Okay, so I'll just give you the chronological experiential thing here. In that, I watched the first one, and I was astounded at the pathos and the empathy that the first one evoked in me for how batshit insane the entire premise is, how much I actually like connected with these characters on a visceral level. Yes. And that's for another round. And then I just dove into Mutant Ninja Turtle history and was like, oh, what is this thing? And I looked up the original creators and how they like created it kind of as a joke, and it was a really dirty, gritty, like adult comic book that like the turtles cut people to pieces, and Shredder was like a monster, like a horrifying murderer. And so I was like, that's cool. And then I watched the second one with that flavoring me, and I kind of was like, oh, that's a little bit what they're going for almost with this one. And I also kind of like that too. So yeah, there I am. That's my day.
I'm so thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing Sean at like Comic-Con 2022
dressed as all the turtles. I brought 4 different costumes to change into depending on what event I'm going to.
He has a red band, like a red eye covering, and he's like, I'm Michelangelo, and everyone there is like, no. Yeah. You're like, what? I'm new.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so turtle thrilled that you had such a good turtle time.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. And clearly that's what they wanted to do. But it's amazing how kind of dark still that 1990 Ninja Turtles movie is.
Yeah.
There's that whole middle act that is like they go to a farmhouse and are despairing over the loss of their father and whether or not their brother will survive.
Like, I love, and their friends, their friends in a coma in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Like face down.
Yeah. Like limbs all over.
it was astounding. But like I think a lot of it does have to do with the puppetry and with how the Henson Company managed to bring these characters to life, like incredible amounts of life. Through their puppetry and through whoever was inside the suits of the four actors, and how they could fight so well in their big costumes too.
Yeah.
Now, how did the puppets actually work? Because obviously there's people in costumes, and are they mechanical for the faces, or what was the process there?
Yeah.
I'd imagine so.
So yeah, they would have been wearing like these helmets that had mechanical stuff to move the faces.
Right.
And for all we know, there was a battery pack in the shell or something.
Right.
And someone would have been controlling it, I guess, remotely.
Yeah. And it probably would have been really loud because it was all pneumatics. So it would have been like, so they had to ADR over it.
Yeah. Yeah. Filming the first movie, and this is a general point, and this will come up later, must have taken so much effort. Like watching it now, I'm like that they would put this much effort into this silly kids movie.
Yeah.
Is mind-blowing. And I'll have points about that kind of throughout for all the different categories, but just as a general note, it's like so impressive.
Yeah.
So my first question then, in terms of story stuff, because obviously it's Ninja Turtles. They're both Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really the debate is like which one had a better kind of concept for the story. So the classic one here has Shredder and the Foot Clan recruiting wayward youths to live in their cool,
it was cool. Their underground arcade bunker, fucking phenomenal.
With their skateboards,
pool tables and cigars and fucking arcade games.
Cigarettes. Sam Rockwell handing out
gambling.
cigarettes.
Was that Sam Rockwell?
It was Sam Rockwell. Isn't that
Shut
awesome?
the fuck up. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like at least they made that work. I would, a lot of kids would be drawn to that. Why wouldn't you? Money, fighting, martial arts. That's cool.
Yep. Fight Club.
Well, that was actually, I actually made a point of writing down that like, I worry that this movie probably didn't send a very good message to the kids watching it because that fucking hideout was super badass.
Crime pays, kids.
There you go.
Leave
Get to be a
school.
fucking
but then they
ninja
lose
that
in the
gets
end,
to skateboard.
right? They lose and Shredder, like the leader, gets shredded
don't
by a garbage shredder.
Right, but the kids don't really lose. They've made a bunch of friends and get to walk away from the police scot-free.
Okay,
Yeah.
Here's a point of order. Both films, by the end, are wrapping up their entire journey around the central message of family. About like family are the people who you can rely on to be there for you when the going gets tough. But the first movie kind of defeats that purpose when Casey looks at all of those youth underground who have just had their ostensibly their father knocked out in front of them. And he's like, you call this a family? You call what this is a family? And he's like openly ridiculing the choices they've made. So I think they lost a little bit of points with that. And the second one loses that argument by only really trying to force it in there by her saying it at the end. Being like, because we're a family. And they don't try to make any effort otherwise to make that the message.
Yeah.
Well, there's also Raphael's potentially dying speech to his brothers.
Right. That is immediately played for laughs.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Fair enough.
Well, yeah, the Marvel movies had come out by this point,
Right.
so
Isn't it evident?
that's why you have to undercut every potential moment with a laugh, which you see so clearly now how much of an influence that's had on action movies, and not even just action movies, just movies in general. When you watch a movie like this from even just 1990, and how different it is, and how heavy moments are allowed to just be like heavy, and it's like a kids movie about Ninja Turtles, and it's like someone's nearly dead, and the movie's like, yeah, they're almost dead.
Yeah.
No one's like, well,
Yep. And then when Splinter is there at the end, standing at the top, and he stops the blade with the nunchuck, and you're like, Splinter, I didn't think you'd come back from this. No, here you are. It was great.
So that's kind of the conceit. Although I didn't understand in the original movie what Shredder was trying to accomplish, just to build a bigger force. They were stealing stuff. for money, for stuff.
So I think he was trying to bring back like an old Japanese mafia
guy. Oh, the Yakuza.
Well, something like that.
Shredder's
They
plot,
kept referencing this old Japanese group called the Foot Clan,
Yeah.
and a similar incident in Japan where
Yeah,
crime
where
was
they
running
took over.
rampant or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just Shredder trying to like take over New York City.
Yeah. Both are
Yeah.
Batman in some vague way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that does seem to be his plan. Is just to build up his forces. That's as far as we get in this movie. Just to increase,
I guess.
right? Grow the Foot
Yeah.
Clan seems to be the goal.
Yeah, just like be the number one crime boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
And then-
TV at a time.
One TV at a time. The montage of people being robbed is pretty fun.
The montage, the part of that montage where the back of the van is open and then they're just coming in from different angles
Yeah.
off screen, bringing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
big piece of
constant
electronics.
flow.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that they have like a woman sitting up on her fire escape little like TV setup, and she like leans in the window to get something like knitting needles, and then the TV is like swiped off the camera, and she's like,
Where's my TV?
Yeah.
they're training these kids to be ninjas in order to steal TVs.
Yeah.
And then you have the plot of the remake, where it's also kind of odd. The Shredder has a funny. The Shredder always has a funny role in these movies, which I think is a mistake.
Yeah, because he can't be the main bad guy because he's not a white guy. So he
guess
has to be
so.
the sidekick, but he's clearly the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who was the main bad guy in the original? It wasn't
Yeah, I
the
guess it was
other
Shredder.
Japanese guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the
an
Shredder isn't as
independent film, though.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only really joins the movie at the end.
True.
You know what I mean? Kind of feels
Yeah.
I did want
But
more
he's
Shredder.
like the looming villain.
Yeah,
The entire
sure.
movie. He's like the
It's-
boss
it's-
at the end.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
it's less of an issue in the first movie. Definitely, I think
Right.
it's
Yeah.
kind of funny in the remake. But his plan is weird. He starts one of his first scenes is him kind of griping to that other guy, the white guy actor who's the villain, who we know is the villain because he's
Yeah.
a villain in all the movies he's in. And like, but he's griping to him that his secret ninja clan isn't like widely known and respected enough, and he's like, "We're gonna change that." I'm like, "Wait, are you upset that your secret ninja clan is too secret? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand what your motives are." He's like, "We're gonna go big now."
Yeah, it's got to be vague evil bad guy doing vague evil bad things. Must be stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, okay, and the plot of this one is he's trying to. The turtles contain a pathogen, or they contain
mutagen.
a mutagen,
Or as
mutagen.
our bad guy there keeps calling it a mutagen.
That's racist, Sean.
you know what you said.
So the Ninja Turtles' blood contains a mutagen
Yeah.
that can act as an antidote for a toxic pathogen that Shredder wants to unleash on New York City
Yep.
so that he can then charge for the antidote and essentially become like the controller of
Yep.
New York.
And like hold the rest of the world hostage as
Yeah.
they so choose.
Essentially, yeah.
Science bad.
So, and it's pretty vague, and it's
Fucking diabolical, if you ask me.
it's diabolical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil people doing evil things. Yeah.
Yeah. So which like the remake wants to have a movie that ends with a generic doomsday device on top of a skyscraper. And the other one is the original trying to do something a bit that's like a bit more of a social commentary about
I
like
think the original's just setting up a series. I think they're just being
it
like,
kind of feels like it, right?
except they kill off Shredder.
Whoopsie.
Or do they?
Or do
I
they?
honestly don't know if they do.
No,
I haven't
think
seen the
he's
sequel.
dead. He might be in the second one. Maybe like the
Well, no, he
ooze
might be
saves
dead
him.
because they crush his body
Yeah.
with the garbage truck.
Yeah, his head
Yeah.
gets crushed by it.
Yeah.
So
Which is-
unless they
which
bring
is
him back when they
brutal
go
for a
back in
kids
time.
movie. Ooh, maybe that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe
The original soft reboot.
Is the third movie just a mission to save Shredder? Do they realize it?
Shit, we killed him. We have to go back. Otherwise, this terrible person takes over.
No, that's not what it is. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. And so, look, I mean, these movies are both kind of fun. I obviously,
Yeah.
I enjoy the first one more, but like, if I take off some nostalgia glasses, I'm like, it's okay.
Yes.
It's not like, oh man, this movie is toit.
Aaron asked me, like, was the first one like amazing? Was it so good? I was like, it was a children's movie that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a movie that had I seen as a kid, I would be doing karate for the next fucking
For
2
sure.
weeks. Yeah.
For sure.
Correct.
But the kids movie from the early 90s is trying to be a kids movie, but letting its darker parts just sit. Whereas the new one is trying to be more of an edgy, like kind of teenage PG-13, a little older movie by being dark and edgy and really forcing that darkness on you. But by doing that, you're like, oh, they also undercut all those moments with funny, silly jokes. So in the end, the darker movie comes off more childish than the children's movie does.
Totally, actually. Because in the remake, they're killing people.
Yeah.
They're
Right
like,
away.
Leonardo avoids, and it's always funny. It gets even worse. I think even in the second movie of the original trilogy, Leonardo doesn't even have his swords. They're just not even on his costume.
Yeah.
Because swords are too hard to navigate. Like he has to then cut people, which kills them. And so, like in this movie, it's always kind of funny. He gets away with it. He kind of smacks them, or he just kicks people a lot, right? Which is that typical thing. But in the remake, he's cutting people, and they're like knocking them out of cars and stuff, which kills people.
And throwing them out windows and
Putting bags over people's heads and kidnapping them.
yeah. That was a weird scene.
I feel like we need to also discuss generally the relationship that the Turtles have with April O'Neil.
Yes, please. So they're horny. So particularly Michelangelo in both. No, Raphael in the original is horny for April.
No, it's still Michelangelo.
No, it's both Michelangelo.
Yeah, Raphael's just angry at everyone all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's his characteristic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, which is weird because he's a turtle mutant, but he's supposed to be a teenager. And so like teenage boys are like, woohoo, pretty girl. And that's supposed to be April O'Neil. It's weird in every instance.
Yeah.
So both these movies follow a very similar premise. Is it based on like the original issue of the comic book? Is that like it?
The origin story in the first movie is closer to the comic book one, where I believe it's I just read it. Anyways, they're caught up in some mayhem and they get thrown from a moving vehicle with this like radioactive fluid in the canister, and then they get bathed in it, and the rat finds them, and it gets exposed to it, and they become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles after a few years.
And April O'Neil is like the main human character in the series,
but has no connection to them. Like they weren't her turtles. Like the second movie tried to point. Yeah,
that was super dumb.
Just so unnecessary.
But okay, so Jack, you didn't like the fact that the turtles were horny for the hot young lady.
It's a bit weird. It's
what I actually found more frustrating was the forced sexual tension and eventual relationship of Casey and April O'Neil.
Yeah, I also found that weird, but weirdly less weird than the turtle.
I still found it less uncomfortable than how much the Ninja Turtles would just touch April O'Neil all the time in the remake.
Yay.
They were like grabbing her and like shoving her, and like they put their hands on her a lot when they first meet. And it's just like really, and when they're also being like, woohoo, it's like, oh, this has like a weird boys will be boys fucking
but they're good boys, they're good boys.
They're good boys. They punch the right people, which is what we want in our good boys.
Yeah.
Another comparison I want to draw is that of the origin story of Mr. Splinter, which
Yay!
Widely
favorite
different in both films.
widely different, both ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so in the original, I'll start with the remake actually because it's less insane. So in
More insane.
no, so because in
hard
the
to say.
remake, he is also a subject in the experiments, right? So by the time they end up in the sewer, they've all gotten the mutagen that mutates them,
And
he just happens
April
to be older.
freed them. Yeah.
April freed them, sure,
Yeah.
and it's at that point that he begins to age with the turtles and begin to look after them, and then he finds a book about ninjutsu,
Yeah.
which is enough to teach himself the entire craft and then bestow that knowledge onto the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know
are
how you
correct.
learn how to do like 540 flips from
From a book.
books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also influences your facial hair growth, which I found very impressive. But in the original, he is just supposed to naturally be a rat that can mimic his owner's ninjutsu moves.
His owner was that good.
So as a regular rat, he's practicing ninjutsu in his cage.
And so when Shredder, then whatever his name was before he was Shredder, comes and kills his master, he has that. I like that connection. I like it a lot.
The connection is fine, but it's the connect. That's
I
fine.
don't see the problem then.
I guess not. I didn't.
Yeah, one has him learning from a more legitimate source of like practical mimicry, but he hasn't been mutated beyond
That's
a
my
regular
problem.
rat yet.
That's
and the
my
other
problem.
One, he's mutated first, which is good, but then he learns martial arts from a book, which is not good. There's a fault in each.
Yeah.
But how adorable is that little flashback scene to see the little rat
So
in a
adorable.
bird cage doing a little gimpy kick?
It was super cute. But then he also has the wherewithal as a regular fucking ninja rat to like take in these turtles and raise them before he also gets exposed to the random block of radioactive material in the sewer.
That sentence is going in our next intro segment.
Which one, sorry?
What he just said. Just like,
great.
the rat man adopted the turtles.
Season 3, baby, look out. Yeah, my eyes like rolled out of my head when they were doing the backstory in the remake, and he's like, and then I found a book, ninjutsu. I was like,
that's the other thing that I found really funny about Splinter is that you do that voice, but in the second one, he has like almost a bit of a British thing going on, but looks.
It's Tony
I thought it was Bill
Shalhoub.
Nye.
Yeah,
It's
but
Tony Shalhoub.
I don't know who that is.
Monk.
Oh, it's Tony.
Oh.
It's Monk.
Yeah.
It's
The guy who
that
plays
guy?
Monk?
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I found it funny that they take the Japanese voice out of the character in the reboot, but make him look way more fucking Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like iconically Japanese.
Yeah. And then in the first one, he doesn't have any of the garb, but he's just
Iconically
like,
Chinese, I think, because he's got the like Fu Manchu thing going, right?
He does, yeah.
oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And he's a ninja.
Which, right. But
Yeah.
Ninjas are Japanese though.
Right.
Ninjas are Chinese. Samurai are Japanese.
Ninjas are also Japanese.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Ninjutsu is the
Wow.
is the real martial art.
Take it from us, folks. 3 white dudes.
I mean, don't listen to Sean, but but it is Japanese. So I just don't understand. They kind of made a point in the remake of like incorporating pop culture and stuff more. They made like the point of them, the turtles watching music videos on a mirror from the sewers and like imitating stuff. I just feel like there was a better opportunity to not do book and like that Splinter.
like discovered
Watch
YouTube
some
or
martial
something.
arts on tape.
Yeah, I mean, it would honestly have been
It would've
better
been,
and
yeah.
more in vein with the movie, right?
Yeah.
They could have done like maybe a funny nod to like the previous Ninja Turtles movie or like in his VHSs, or, you know, like
Yeah.
whatever, do jokes. But it's definitely, it's rocky.
And then
It's
there's
very rocky.
it opens up the possibility for an alternate universe where instead of like Ninja on tape, he watches some Richard Simmons on tape, and he's got to save the world through jazzercise.
That'd be a way more exciting Splinter if he's just like, believe in yourself, guys. Pick up those knees.
Daniel is
knowing
resigned.
smile.
He's
No, I love that idea. I'm just trying to imagine what that would look like for our Ninja Turtle heroes.
they'd all be in headbands and just really sparkly, glittery clothing.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, turtles and spandex.
Teenage
Mutant jazzercise turtles.
Jazzercise turtles. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just trying to fight the obesity epidemic.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Will do.
Nice.
Japan.
Sean, you're wrong.
Good job.
And here's why.
In the videotape where young April O'Neil in the reboot is showing us her turtle collection, it says 1990 in the lower left corner, making the turtles at their youngest 24 years old as of the making of the film, therefore not in their teenage years.
That's terrible math. No, it's right math because it was 20. it came out in 2014. That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Math.
They are not teenaged Mutant Ninja Turtles. I want my money back.
Nor
That's
do they
true.
fucking look like teenagers.
No, or talk like teenagers. Johnny Knoxville voiced one.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Why? That's a weird choice.
Why not?
Corey Feldman voiced one in the original.
Yeah, I saw that in the credits.
He got his
too,
own
which is
separate
weird.
credit, his own little separate section for it.
With Corey Feldman as one of them.
Yeah, but I found that to be. I didn't do the math on that, but as soon as they were like, "And we're they're like, "And we're teenagers." I was like, "No, you're not. No, you're fucking not."
So does that make you like some kind of mutant ninja teenage turtles or something?
I thought it was kind of cute, that moment where she like mixes up all the words because it's silly.
There were a lot of moments in the reboot where I immediately was like, "Oh, I hated that so much," and then I said, "Wait, play that out in the original movie." No, you kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's fun stuff. I will say, from as a very base impression, the remake is better than I expected.
It's watchable.
It's watchable. It's a watchable movie, I would say.
Yeah, and I'm not usually a fan of Michael Bay doing his Bayhem thing, but
He's produced it though.
No, he directed it, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Oh, who directed it?
he didn't direct it. I thought he directed it.
This movie smacks of Michael Bay.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure he was on set all the time. Let me look that up for you, gentlemen.
He didn't. He didn't direct it. You're right.
No,
like the end of the movie looked like straight up fucking Transformers versus Ninja Turtles with the big fight scene with Shredder.
Yeah. Jonathan Liebesman was the director. We might remember him from Wrath of the Titans, which immediately preceded this movie in his filmography. He is also directing some of the episodes of the Halo TV show.
Oh,
they're still making a Halo TV show?
Yeah, it's in post-production.
Yeah. I'm actually working with a guy who's working on the VFX for that show right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is yeah.
Oh, I can name drop.
I didn't say his name.
That guy.
Battle Los Angeles, also directed by this guy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, also directed by this guy.
We get it. He's hot shit.
He's hot shit. And the other one was directed by a guy who
Domino's Pizza.
By Domino's Pizza. I mean, the second one was Pizza Hut Pizza.
Yeah.
But it was directed by a guy who, up to that point, had only really done music videos with like ZZ Top and Bryan Adams. His name is Steve Barron, and that really comes out when we get to looks. I'll talk a bit more about that, but like a really visual director.
Well, cool. Well, shall we move on then? Is there anything else people want to get out about story or anything?
No.
They both have writing that's a mix of some laughs and smiles and some groany groans.
Yep.
There's my general overpan.
Great. End of round here.
Moving on. Great. Moving into our second round. Looks good. Turtle power. Sean.
Sean, you had some thoughts?
Sean?
Yeah, this movie is stunning.
The first one.
The first one is stunning. It's one of the most beautiful films I've seen in a while.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Maybe this year. I was
What?
floored. Some of the
What?
shots he's got are beautiful.
Yeah,
some of the following shots that we get that don't necessarily focus on like the person, but focus on like an activity that's happening that kind of augments what is being said. Beautiful.
There's stuff in this movie. There are some long shots that are incredible if you also consider the fact that they're working with super difficult animatronic, I'll call it puppet costumes.
Yeah. The costumes, first and foremost, the puppets and the costumes are unbelievable. Dan
is like
my
rethinking
brain
his life.
is in pieces inside of my head right now. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. The most beautiful movie you've seen in a while.
It's incredibly beautiful, Daniel. The shot of her looking out the back of the car as her apartment, as her life goes up in flames because of the choices she'd made within the last 24 hours. She's looking back at her entire life incinerating, and you just see it in the reflection of whatever vehicle they're in, and then her looking at. Beautiful. The shot of the three of them coming back from their seance in the woods, the magic that we're just not going to talk about happened in this film because it totally throws everything off. But they arrive back as the sun is rising and like their night is done. Their long dark night of the soul is done, and it is sunrise and it's a new day, and they have an action plan. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The following shot of the guy, I think he like picks up the phone, dials it, and then he lays back in his chair. Beautiful.
Wait,
I love
what
it.
was that last one?
The cop when he's trying to blackmail the news guy. It's just a like tracking shot. I think he like puts down a coffee, picks up a phone, and like
that one sticks out less to me, admittedly. The intro of Shredder is really dope. You get the long shadow of him entering the space on this long hallway. The camera sweeps down behind him in the hallway. His shadow is cut off by a hard line of light in the new room that he enters, which makes him the focus now instead of the shadow. They get a pan of him looking up to one direction, and they get a perfect gleam off of his helmet on the light now that way. And then he turns the other way, which reveals more kids up on the rafters the other way. And then it gets another gleam on his helmet, and it's all one shot. And I was like, how dare you try this hard on this movie?
This movie had no right to look as good as it did. And it ties in. I mentioned he'd only directed really music videos up to that point, and he went on. He did Coneheads and then just a bunch more music videos after this.
Coneheads,
yeah. Fuck. And with music videos, you really have to emphasize visual moments because people are just watching it because they love the song and they don't really care about what's actually on the screen. But if you can put something visually impressive on there, it's gonna make a long-lasting impression rather. So I think that really comes through in this film.
Last one I want to say, and then Dan can tell us that we're insane.
Talk.
Is also the long shot.
To say about it.
It's like doesn't look. It's interesting. It's an interesting shot where they have Splinter's hand, which must have been a different hand, lights a match, lights a candle, then it pans away from the candle to one of their faces as he's talking with one of the turtles. And then it pans, and they're discussing back and forth, and the camera is moving between the two of them, all in one shot, and like around the candle. Then one of them, they start crying. They're like weeping. There's like tears coming from their animatronic eyes, and it's like this emotional conversation that you're like, these aren't puppets. Like these are real characters.
Things.
Yeah, living things. Yep. Having a conversation. This movie just has no right to do any of it.
No right.
And they are like, nah, we're gonna try.
Yeah. Daniel, rebut.
I think you guys are fucking insane. So the shredder shot, yes, fine, great shot. The fire shot, not that impressive. I remember watching it actually and being like, oh, they could do more with this. And the reflection of the fire actually looks pretty cheap. I wonder what they're doing off screen to make it look like that, because there should be way more fire in the fucking window. What is this? What is for anybody not watching on YouTube? That sound was just Jack smacking his lips. I'm not sure.
I don't know, making weird faces at you.
Yeah,
really losing us a lot of listeners. Mostly, people hate smacking.
Is something wrong with my speakers? Yeah, I don't know, man. I couldn't just stop thinking about how cheap the movie looked just overall because I was watching a '90s kids movie. I will say. The puppets were magnificent, sure. Yeah. But that doesn't equate to the look of the entire movie being fucking
exactly what it
flawless
needed
or
to be.
beautiful.
Compared to the reboot,
Right,
which
so
was
that-
excessive.
Yes, it was very excessive, but my main my main point of comparison for these movies, I think, is ultimately going to be: do I enjoy the CGI turtles over the live action turtles?
Okay.
Because everything else, there's really no comparison for me. I think that
one's an independent film with puppets, and one is a multi-million-dollar blockbuster.
Exactly, it's hard to really argue, right?
With people in mocap suits, yeah.
Right. So then it comes down to: is the excess better, or is the live action attempt better? And I honestly don't know.
I'll tell you what my answer is.
I think everyone knows what your answer is. You just fucking came all over your microphone. But
I did. The movie ended, and I shouted to Aaron. I was like, "This movie has no business doing what it just did to me."
Yeah, I didn't have that. It didn't have that impact on me at all. The only moments in either of these movies that truly came close to getting me were like those little moments where they really hit the message home about it being about family and them like loving each other. That shit was nice, and it was warm, and it was sweet.
Sure,
That shit was nice.
That shit was nice.
That shit about family, yeah, that moved me.
Whoa, are you a turtle from the remake?
Are you Raphael from the original?
Yeah.
I'm going to see a fucking movie. Is that all right with you?
Fuck you, Mom, Dad.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, one is a CGI blockbuster, and one is a fucking live action movie from the 90s. So I don't really have a lot to say about these movies in terms of looks, except what is better? The age old question of what is better: live action practicals or special effects, right? Or virtual effects. I mean,
the former.
Yeah.
I'd say almost most of the time for me. I mean, the remake is clean. I gotta say, the CGI is good. It's good CGI. It's very high quality.
Except on Splinter.
Except on Splinter.
Splinter is rough, but the scene where they break into the headquarters, I think they only do it once. It's near the end of the movie, right before that big downhill chase.
Yeah.
And there's all that like hand-to-hand combat stuff right outside the front door of the headquarters. The CGI in those scenes, like incredible.
The money went into that, yeah,
clearly.
the action scenes, because it picked like the downhill mountain thing as much as I wanted to like just turn off the movie at that point or like turn it off for 3 minutes and then turn it back on when it had finished. It was visually way better than the other visuals had been in the movie up to that point.
Well, go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say, and they made design choices in the remake that I really appreciated. Whereas in the first one, I agree with you, Sean. If you don't know these characters, you're like, which one is which?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they haven't even kind of developed the character of Donatello, for example, the purple one, where he becomes more of the tech one. That is his thing. By the later movies, even of the original franchise, that's more clearly his thing. Cool. And in the remake, I just thought the design of each one is really cool. Like Leonardo has this cool kind of bamboo front covering thing, and Michelangelo has like surfer beads, shells and stuff on him. You know what I mean? Like, right, and like Raphael has the full head covering because he's a bit more like something a bit more hardened. It's almost like this like do-rag kind of thing going on. And then Donatello's like over the top with all this tech all over him, but that's fun. Like, it's fun for kids. And then the design of their hideout is pretty cool. It's a bit more of a skate park now. And then the design of Shredder, if I were 10, that
Shredder
fucking Gundam wing
Shredder
meets
was
Transformers.
insanely cool.
Yo.
Like I at the end of the original movie, I was like, Shredder honestly is the weakest part for me, just because
in his pajamas.
Like, his costume's cool in the light that they showed it, but then when he's moving around, you're like, well,
it's not good. He's not very intimidating.
The design is he's Shredder. He needs knives. Give him knives.
He's like a dangerous cheese grater.
Yeah.
With these bogus science blades that are like he does it like 8 times because it looks cool every time. Where they open, they go like like a Swiss Army blade,
knives
and then
knives.
He can shoot them so hard that it knocks down radio towers. And then he has magnets that pull the blades back perfectly, and he can just go whooshing, and it's never explained, which it's a good thing they don't, and it's just magic. And it's super. It's awesome.
So
well, that.
oh, yep.
Sorry, I'm just going to say that is kind of the main point in favor of the the CGI side of things for me, is that it allowed everything to be that much more exciting, because the fight choreo in the original, for example, while impressive because of what they were working with, it's pretty fucking cheesy. Like, parts of it are hard to watch. You can clearly see that no one's actually making contact. The choreography itself is very slow. And then you get to this world where you can kind of literally do whatever you want because it's all digital. And suddenly it's way more engaging and way faster.
Okay, well, that was what I was going to ask, is what is more impressive to you? Is people in those suits doing the limited combat that they had, but still trying to sell it, or a guy in a studio on a computer determining the moves that are being shown to you on screen? For me, I would prefer to see actors with the conflict of the suits that they're in, trying for things and trying to sell things, rather than like mostly blurs.
But I think the operative word there. Sorry, Jack, but the operative word there is trying. You're watching as a viewer and you're filtering it through, I see what these guys are going for, I appreciate the effort, as opposed to, as a film, this looks great.
But I don't care when I don't care when two imaginary things are hitting each other.
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff, maybe not all of it, but some of it at least, is people reenacting the choreo in a studio. They just have suits on that allow you to add more stuff on top of it.
Right. So
I
don't know if it's gonna be at the speed that you're seeing it reflected in the final thing.
Sure, but I mean, movies are fake.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
But I like
it's
performers.
It's all fucking smoke. Those aren't real turtles, Sean.
I sent Aaron into the sewers looking for them. Fuck.
But and I agree, Dan. Like, the points you make are true. And as much as, even in terms of the looks of the turtles, there are times when it's amazing how much I could connect with the live action turtles. There are also moments where their mouths are like sort of with it. And you're like, whoa, they're really managing to make this work. And other shots where you're like, oh, that was way off. And my brain just like farted and like I was taken out of this movie for a second. So like it's not a 100% win. And I'm not going to pretend that it is. I feel bothered by the remake that it has the ability, as you say, to kind of do whatever they want. And yet I didn't find the fighting very good in it. Like, the action is good. The whole snowy hill thing it goes on a lot, but it's like a well executed, thrilling sequence. It's fine. You know, it's
moments. I'll give it. There were moments in it that I was like, okay, that's cool. But then then there's a truck tumbling all over the place and cars are zooming and shells are spinning. Yeah,
they're sledding down on their shells, and that's a pretty fun idea to run with for like your big moment.
I think, but it's also shot really close. A lot of the action in the new one is shot at like neck level. And I don't know whether that was it in 3D, were they trying to make it feel really close in the cinema through some like new projection. I don't know, but like, it was a gimmick, and by the end I was claustrophobic.
Well, just in general with the fighting and stuff, as well as a note just about fighting, which is that at least in the original, while some of it, like probably they were taking a lot of space from each other, because I imagine depth perception was a real issue in these outfits. And so like, just say like 6 feet from me, and then we'll try and line up the camera. But in the remake, it's that quick cut, flashy, close, kind of action that I was like, it's like, was that cool? Because I didn't see anything. It's not until they have a moment where the fight between Splinter and Shredder, it's just like a CGI cartoon thing. Yeah,
but it's Yoda fights Dooku.
It's Yoda fights Dooku, but that means better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Splinter does some cool stuff. Suddenly he has a full active tail that he can use.
Yeah.
And it's more wide shot, and you can see it, and it's like that was pretty cool. I wish if all the action in this movie were like that, this could be quite cool, but they don't do that enough, I would say. But like, honestly, but at the end of the day, like, whatever. It's not bad either. It's not bad. So, shout out to them putting April O'Neil in a yellow jacket, like in the 1990 movie. I see your nod. I thought it was funny that you kept her in that jacket the entire movie. Like she can change in the original movie. She changes out of it and then it's gone. But cool.
Oh yeah, she was wearing the same thing the entire film, wasn't she?
Sure was.
More or less. Yeah. Okay. And so was Will Arnett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think
the
he's
film
in the same
happens in,
outfit.
like, a day and a half, though, right? Doesn't it?
It happens in a pretty short amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
guess
short.
so.
I don't know. Pretty short.
Maybe like 2 days.
I always have such a hard time tracking the timeline of movies, but it felt like it was longer than that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It's within a week for sure.
For
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like try and get their final plan happening within the fucking hour. They like capture them, they get the blood pumping, and then the dude's running off to poison the city. Like it's
Which,
like
props, keep your moving going. Like the
guess.
movie didn't lag, which
no.
yeah. It didn't lag. I did find myself kind of bored around the late second act of each movie. Just kind of like, okay, what are we doing? Oh, okay, and here's the climax. Okay, we're going. Yeah.
It bugged the shit out of Miranda. Megan Fox's like constantly done up, like I was stayed up all night, and I'm just I can't keep my brain straight, but like,
Erin had the same note, and she was like, "You should say that on the pod." And I was like, "I don't think I should be the one to be like, I didn't like how Megan looked all the time." But so it sounds like we had similar girlfriend experiences with this.
Yeah, I'm just relaying what was felt there. She kept turning to me like during the movie whenever she would have one of those moments and just go, "Oop, oh, sorry. I just, like I'm sorry. I just need a second, but oh, my hair, ooh, like," and I would have to like rewind because, but yeah, it was frustrating, and we'll get to the actors
Megan, dear Megan.
shortly.
Dear Megan.
Shall we? Let's move along. Shall we?
Let's trundle on.
Trucking.
So end of round, moving into our third official round, which is sounds good.
Good job.
Yeah. Shout out to both movies having an original Ninja Turtles rap at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. That takes commitment, and I love you for it.
And both were sonically consistent, let's say.
They were.
I did greatly appreciate the like early 90s fucking retro soundtrack on the original.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
The opening music is dope.
Yeah.
Over top of
Yeah, that was nice.
And parts of it I was like, okay, but then I heard the score of the new one and I was like, you are trying to destroy my eardrums with generic dribble, and I am not
it was
here
Batman
for it.
Light. It was,
Yes.
They brought in
With,
little
like,
Hans Zimmer.
With like shades of like the Bourne Ultimatum.
Oh yeah,
series.
probably
Yeah.
also Hans Zimmer. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like right away the music.
And
I was like,
Marvel.
oh, cue Marvel-esque music.
Yeah.
Right away.
It was
Well,
like bum bum ba ba.
It was the sound immediately off the top of the remake that made me go, "Oh no, this film is going to take itself really seriously, isn't it?" And it does, even though it keeps making fun of itself at like crucial emotional moments. It like it's really serious about what it's doing. And the soundtrack just kind of
Well, I mean, it is serious business, Sean. It's fucking
Saving the world.
superheroes trying to save the world from
with mutagens.
deadly viruses, with mutagens.
And both these movies start with a voiceover narration of sorts. And in my opinion, the original movie does it way better.
Correct.
I think the combination of it's April O'Neil, who is our main character, sort of, but it's our main human character.
Oh, right.
We
The
have
news
April
thing, right?
Yeah.
She's like doing a newscast about the rise in crime and about this. And as we're hearing that, we're seeing these crimes happen, and it's kind of campy, but it's also kind of fun. And the music is really fun. And the remake does the oh so typical animated with narration. And I don't like what's his face as Splinter. I think he's not good.
I mean, you say oh so typical, but the news anchor as a narrative device is
It's a cliche,
definitely not
for
original.
sure.
Yeah.
But like it's used well, and I think the narration, the animated narrated bit was not done well.
I thought the
Yes.
narration. I actually enjoyed the kind of graphic novel esque visuals. I thought the narration was weak, and I felt the opposite for the original. I thought that the narrative device gave the information it needed, but the montage was just silly and kind of laughable.
Yeah.
It was a kid. It
was a kids movie.
But that's the
It was
thing.
a
It
kids
set the
movie
tone.
aimed at kids, right? Sure.
It was a kids movie. It was showing visuals that kids would understand because they're not paying attention to what's being spoken. They're looking at the TV and they're seeing, oh, there's crime. Okay.
Right. That movie also teaches kids that pickpocketing a wallet is the most elaborate fucking action in the world, and it needs 7 people to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, but in terms of voiceover is also a big thing in this movie in general, though, right? Because all the turtles are voiced over.
Yeah, there's a lot of ADR.
Right.
Well, there's ADR in both, but there's a lot of very visible ADR in the original for sure.
I like the voices in the original. In particular, Splinter and Shredder. And I thought Splinter and Shredder in the remake were kind of lame.
Yeah, I will give you those two as the strongest ones. This is the hardest category for me this week because honestly, it's like a level playing field.
It's pretty level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found original Splinter so distracting.
Yeah.
Oh, Ninja Turtles.
Fight.
You are my sons. Fight. Like
It's tricky because they're both exposition machines, right? The Splinter just like gives backstory in both movies.
yeah.
And so when the choice is like a slow speaking, like we found them many years ago, it's like, oh, we're gonna be here a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds. Anything else? I didn't love. There's some weird I just called it jump pop because I don't know early '90s musical classifications. But when the fight happens in April's kitchen and they're having the just after the nunchuck off, and then it gets like and they're doing fight. It didn't work for me.
I mean, that sounds cool when you do it, though.
When I
It
do
sounds
if
like
I
an
had done
upbeat
it,
porno is what it sounds like when you do it.
really happy blowjobs.
I don't want to see the Ninja Turtles animated like porn.
Porn
Well,
parody.
I think when we start our Patreon and we release our blue episodes, we're gonna have to we'll do the Mutant Ninja Turtles porn versus the Pirates porn or something.
Perfect.
What are blue episodes? What is this?
Adult.
Oh,
It was a joke. It was a joke.
but is that what they're called? Blue episodes?
When something is blue, it's a little
It's
it's off color. It's
Oh,
I've never heard this.
you learn
look it
something
up.
new every day.
Look it up,
I'm
boys.
clearly not blue enough. Am I using that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree that it's a pretty level playing field. No major level issues. It's very overstimulating. Again, as we kind of talked about, it's a lot in the remake, and I enjoyed the scoring and stuff that the original did in terms of, especially that low point where they are up at the farm, and there's kind of just like it's really simple music, and it's just kind of sad, and it's not doing too much. It's just a little bit there. I think I want to talk about the magic a little bit.
Okay.
Because that's where they bring in some
breaks the
interesting
film,
music.
but yeah.
It breaks the film a little bit.
Yeah.
But not as much as it could.
True. Yes. I
They
will.
do a surprisingly, mature
Yeah.
blue version.
No.
Of,
but yeah.
I think I'm using that right.
Blue would be if Splinter was naked. Do I have that
Yeah.
right?
If he's doing a little dance for the
He's like, my
yeah.
clothes don't come with me. I'm a spirit. Little rat dong is out. But like that moment should be completely stupid, and yet somehow with the music and how it's done, and the sound of the fire and the look of it changing to blue fire,
Yeah.
I'm like, you got away with that, and I should have groaned.
That's the entire movie is them getting away with things they
Yeah.
have no right to get away with. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shakes fist aggressively.
Great. Well, moving on then. Dope soundtrack at the end. End of round, right? Right? End of round? End of round. Sounds usually short. Getting into our fourth official round, which is acts good. Bing, bing, bing. Which fake turtle acted better, guys?
Whoopi
First of
Goldberg.
all, I just want to give a shout out to Whoopi Goldberg,
Yeah.
Shout
who I think
Who must have been doing a favor.
yes.
Yeah, I had no idea she was in this movie, but I'm always surprised by how much I enjoy Whoopi Goldberg because I didn't watch a lot of her stuff growing up, so my major point of reference for Whoopi Goldberg is her on The View, which I don't
Oh,
like.
wow.
Which I
Not
do
on
not
Star
like.
Trek?
Oh no.
Like here and there on Star Trek, but I didn't watch a
Sister
lot of
Act?
Star Trek till later.
Sister Act.
Sister Act, I think I just watched for the first time recently.
Holds up.
It does hold up.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and I'm now coming to appreciate how amazing Whoopi Goldberg is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
But it's only
But, like,
now.
clearly doing Michael Bay a favor.
It seems like it, eh?
Yeah.
Showed up for a day.
And that guy
But
from
stole the
SNL,
show.
Yep.
Which
Well,
guy from SNL?
he was like her jerk off co-worker in the
Yeah,
remake.
who was mean to
Oh,
her in the
right.
briefing.
Yeah. Yeah, the actors in the remake. So Megan Fox.
Oh, woof.
Megan Fox.
So Megan Fox.
Huh.
I feel bad because I think we kind of know this, that she kept getting, like, Michael Bay gave her big break with Transformers, right?
And then ripped it away from her.
Is that her? Did he rip it away? Well,
Yeah,
she wanted
because
to.
she said that she, in an interview, said that working with Michael Bay was like working with Adolf Hitler on set.
Right.
And
And he was like, no more movies for you.
yeah. But then they reconciled, and he was like, how about a movie for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she's like, sure, no one's hired me in 6 years. I really need this.
Yeah, like she didn't have too much
mean,
ground to stand on.
That tells
and
me a
she
little
doesn't
bit
wanna
more
do
about
it.
Michael Bay than it does about Megan Fox, to be honest. If, like, she didn't work in the time where she called him a Hitler and then didn't work for a while and then only came back because of his goodwill, I'm going to assume Michael Bay is maybe a...
That's how Hollywood works, though, man. If you
Oh, it should not be.
publicly, no, it shouldn't be. But I don't think it's a Michael Bay thing. I think it's a Hollywood thing. If you publicly denounce a famous and like trendy director,
He's
no one's
probably
going to want to
like
touch you.
Hitler, though, right? I mean, he's probably an asshole. I'm just saying.
Probably. I'm not
probably.
Yeah.
saying it's right. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it makes
That's
sense.
how
that
Hollywood works.
people would
Burn
stay
it to
away
the
from
ground.
her.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Down with Hollywood.
Yeah.
Up
Yep.
with Whoopi.
Up with Whoopi.
Whoopi-berg.
Whoopi Berg. Holly Whoop.
Hollywood.
Hollywood was good too.
But Megan Fox, all of this to say is that she's really, 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 really bad.
She's bad.
She's really fucking bad.
She's really bad. She doesn't, I don't know if she hits any note in this
No.
no. score.
And yeah, her whole like up all night, frantic, insane acting.
She was trying.
thing,
She was trying for
She
something
was,
there.
yeah, she was
Yeah.
trying, but fuck, was it hard to watch. She sucked.
Yeah. Everyone did, though. Will Arnett was terrible.
Oh, Will Arnett is so, he's bad.
He was fine. Will Arnett was
you-
fine.
You just like Will Arnett. I mean, it's a lot of
I like
bad
Will
writing
Arnett,
for
too.
both of them.
It's bad
like,
writing, yeah.
It is terrible writing. Like, I guess we didn't get into this too much before, but it's bad. Like, Will
Yes.
Arnett has a garbage character who
Yeah.
is reduced to one-liners by the third act of the movie.
Yeah.
And before that, he's like creepily trying to hit on her,
And after that.
and later.
Oh yeah,
And
because he's
then-
trying to hit on her at the end of the movie
In the final
in the
scene.
parkade.
Before,
right? Yeah.
before he magically just walks off screen for no reason and it's just Megan left with the turtles.
Yeah. Get out of the
He's
movie.
mourning
Will.
his car. He walks over to
Yeah.
mourn his dead car
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something. I don't fucking know. I was checked out by that point.
Yeah, he's not great.
Everyone in
but
this
it's-
movie is starting the marathon with a cinder block tied to their leg.
Yeah.
I do want to give particular credit to whoever played Michelangelo in this movie.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I
He
agree.
was tons of fun. I thought the guy who played Raphael, who some may know as the main jock from Blue Mountain State.
Ooh.
Anyone's ever seen that show? He also.
I
that's
know
pretty
what
much
blue means, so I want to see it now.
Raphael is Alan Richson. Michelangelo
That's
was
his name,
Noel
yeah.
Fisher.
Yeah.
Wait.
To
I don't know who
Noel
Noel Fisher is, but
Yep. I'm just looking at
anyways. Yeah, Michelangelo, I think the character is fun in both movies, but I think he's way more fully realized and has a lot more character and personality in the new one. And there were moments where he actually had me like laughing out loud. I thought he was great.
Yeah, I think they're more distinct in the remake.
100%.
Yes, correct.
I think 100% they are much more distinct characters, and that does benefit the movie a lot. You do feel like they have different
Yeah,
stuff.
they're on an arc of sorts that you can follow because of their individuality, but I don't appreciate them as much as a group as I do in the original.
So that's a very funny line. I'm just reflecting on this. Is about Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah.
They're on an arc on account of their individualities.
The turtle monsters have an arc in this film.
You know, they're going through their own individual struggles.
Yeah, but that comes at the expense. There's the word. Thank you, everyone. I got there. It comes at the expense of the group dynamic, which is great in the first one.
Yeah, the group dynamic does feel pretty fun. They make Raphael, obviously, like he's supposed to be the one, and they keep this thing. He wants to be a bit more of a loner, right? He's
Red
the
Ranger,
angsty one.
Yeah.
He's the fiery one. Whereas Leonardo's the blue one. He's cool and collected, right? There's there's character shit in there.
There's stuff in there.
Has anyone else in the remake that really worth noting? Like the bad guy is a bad guy. He's fine.
Yeah.
He does his job
I
probably
liked-
the cleanest of anyone.
I think we already talked about this, but I liked the Shredder character more in the new one, which I think some credit has to be given to the actor.
Yeah.
I like his design more of his suit. I don't like the character more. I like the Shredder character more in the original.
Well, then we can agree to disagree, Jack.
Sounds like it.
And we'll
Democracy.
find out how I vote in the final round.
Ooh.
But acting. Any acting? I did have something and I completely forgot it. But
April O'Neil in the original is charming, and
she's not great either.
no, but I like this. This is going to be a horrible thing to say, maybe, but I like the fact that they didn't hire someone who is like traditionally Hollywood hot or beautiful for that role.
Well, yeah, it was an
And still
independent
had-
film, right? Yeah.
Well, and still made her this like the love interest, and still had people attracted to her. I mean,
still had Casey Jones forcibly massaging her.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was fucked.
That
I
was
don't know
a
how we
lot.
didn't talk about that.
That was a lot.
But and I thought I didn't think she's going to win an Oscar for it, or should have, but I thought she was charming, and I liked how sweet she was to the turtles.
They do write more for April to do in the remake than they do in the original.
Which is wasted material.
Yeah, and super forced.
Yeah.
But you get the idea, though, that it's like that weird thing where it's a movie about superhuman, like super powered ninja mutant turtle teenagers.
Yeah.
And then it's like the modern movie thing where it's like, but what's the average person doing alongside them? And it's like, oh, we don't care that much. Like, we don't really need them to relate to. So I like that April in the original is more of a character swept up in it, and she's caught up in it, and she's trying to help them, but it's just in the way that she could. She doesn't have to get the killing blow on Shredder because why would she? She's not a combat technician. So I kind of groan when I see that done in modern movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the relationship is weird. I think the guy who
Don't
played
you
Casey
dare.
Jones, what?
I just said don't you dare, but continue.
I'm gonna dare.
You're clearly daring.
I think the stand-up performance probably of the whole thing is the guy who played Casey Jones.
Of the whole two movies?
He's really good. That's a really clear character. He plays almost every scene really well. He's clearly a skis ball, but you kind of like him. He does it really well. I thought it was the guy from Law and Order SVU, but they just look similar. It's not him. It's a different guy.
I'm gonna say Sam Rockwell is the standout performance with
Get it? What? No,
regular or mint, but
shout out to
didn't
Sam
like-
Rockwell. I love
You
it.
didn't like Danny, eh? Who? Sorry, it's Dan now. You didn't
Oh,
like Dan,
Danny.
eh?
Danny, it's Dan now. Danny is, my God. Why would you even bring up Danny?
I forgot about him, to be honest.
I did too. Those scenes.
I didn't understand what they were trying to do with that character.
It was supposed to be the kid that kids could relate to, right? Like,
Right.
it's-
And
I
he's
guess.
the key to it all. He's the magic. He's the conduit that the magic went through, right? Is that
What?
the explanation?
What?
Because of his symbol on his head, on his headband, that represents whatever stuff that whatever magical background it represents. It's the conduit that allowed Splinter to connect with Leonardo in the cabin.
I thought the symbol
What?
on his headband was just the mark of
Hiroko Saki.
Shredder. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
Sean's like, I was seeing so much in this movie. I was seeing whole other plot lines, man.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think you're maybe giving this movie way more credit than it deserves, Sean.
No, that I don't think that was a
Okay.
thing.
All right, I watched a review afterwards just to see if what I was experiencing was legitimate, and I think they jokingly said that maybe he was the conduit that led magic to the movie, and I just interpreted it as serious. So
Right.
bad Sean, bad Sean. Okay,
Bad Sean.
bad Sean.
Sorry. Yeah, Danny is not good. His dad's not bad. He's like so typically a 1990s dad. It hurts,
Yeah.
but it's all right. The police chief is completely over the top. He was auditioning for Lethal Weapon,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Kind of funny. Gets the job done. Screaming on the phone. That's it, right? There's no other characters.
Yeah, there was no one in the original that I went, oh boy, from. But there were definitely pretty much. It was like 3/4 that in the second movie, in the remake.
Yeah. Megan Fox is like fantastically bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
And it's just the Spider-Man origin story that she's going through. So fuck off, writers.
Yeah, that's our message this week. Fuck off,
Fuck off,
writers.
writers.
You know, it took 3 people to write that fucking movie. That was the most painful part of the entire thing. Was
And it
realizing took
shows.
3 people. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Let's skedaddle.
That's it, right? All right.
Yeah.
End of round. So fucking ding ding. That brings us to the end of our official rounds and brings us to the world famous, known across the galaxy.
People are
For-
talking about it.
People are talking about it. This is our lightning round. Likes and gripes. La la la. Likes and gripes. Likes and gripes.
La 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 likes and gripes.
It's it's weird when you don't put any sauce on it.
Yeah.
It's a 2-minute lightning round where we get out any other likes and gripes that we didn't get out in the regular portion of the podcast. And that's it. That's it. That's all I need to say, right? So we're going to go in our typical order. Sean, Dan, Jack.
Yo.
And we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Yeah, yo, and then Sean's going to spit some gripes.
Yeah.
All right. I got 2 minutes on the timer starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Gripe. April O'Neil being a reporter when she was a kid.
Like slapping telegrams.
Like chopping carrots with a sword.
Like chopping carrots with a sword.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, like chopping veggies with a sword.
Gripe. April's farm voiceover.
Like the New Line Cinema opening.
Gripe Splinter having a blatant Darth Vader ripoff moment.
Gripe Raphael's trench coat disguise.
Gripe.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Gripe. Bad ADR.
Like fart jokes.
Gripe. The shaky cam over reporter scenes.
Like bird exercise.
Like random elevator beatbox session.
Yes. Oh my God. Such a like. So good.
So good.
That's like my love. I loved that. Like the sketch of Leonardo and his position.
Yeah.
Really good.
Like gripe the panning ass shot in the truck.
Oh my god.
Like opening a movie with a game of Fruit Ninja.
Kind of a likey grape. A Michael Bay-esque sweep of the camera to do an establishing shot of traffic.
Gripe, William Fichtner saying mutagen.
Gripe, assaulting me with lens flares.
Grape, Burger King.
Gripe,
Nice.
the downhill snow scene.
Oh, really?
Gripe, huge adrenaline injection button.
Grape, learning martial arts from a book.
Very nice, yeah.
Gripe, Raphael wears sunglasses on his head.
Hey.
Oh, good. I was out.
Yeah, I think I got through all of them.
That one felt long.
That one felt long. Oh, that's a good sign. We should shorten it. I think we're getting faster.
That was it. I felt like I just got through a lot of.
If you think
likes
we
and
should
gripes.
shorten this segment, please write into citizenkaneversus@gmail.com
Send in
with
your
your 30
box
box taps. You tell us.
With your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle box taps.
Yeah.
Well done. So with that concluded now, we can get into our official ratings of these and decide which one of these two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies is the Citizen Kane of the week. For one of them shall be compared to Citizen Kane this week.
You've had worse comparisons.
We have.
That's true. That's true.
So our first round, our first category, story. Again, they're both about Ninja Turtles. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think my vote has to go to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm
Lucky that got me. I
on
almost
board with
spit
you.
I didn't expect that. You bitch.
Thank you. I'm gonna go with the first one, or sorry, the reboot. The reboot is getting my vote. Because while a little contrived, it is a more complicated and therefore, at least to me, interesting story.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with the OG 1990 because it has an element of pathos that I didn't think possible from a children's movie.
Yeah, I am gonna vote for the original as well. I think it's just a little bit cleaner. I thought the pathogen or the mutagen stuff was silly, and I wasn't connected to it, and I was able to connect in moments with
sillier than like no real actual plot, similar than them fighting a villain who has no specific plan. That's a cleaner story to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you guys.
I connected more with it. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. All right.
Looks. This one's
OG, the 1991. It just blew me away.
I don't fucking understand that. Jack, you go first because my vote might not matter.
I'm also saying the original.
Yeah, fucking of course you are. All right. Well, then let's just move on.
You got to vote.
My vote goes to the new one, to the reboot. Okay. There's no argument that can be made, in my opinion, for the original in comparison to
the cool flashback stuff where they would have the room fade to black behind them. And
I thought that was so lame. That was so. I made a note of it actually
so many
about
creative
how cheesy.
choices.
Is that a creative choice?
Yeah.
Is that an artistic choice to just fade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's so simple. It's so like
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, it's great.
No, but
Simplicity
it's so good.
worked perfectly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
More is not better.
No.
Then you have that silly subway fight scene from the other movie, and it's like, what the fuck did I
unequivocally
just watch?
better is better. And the new one,
There you are
just
with your
looks-
bias again.
You heard it here.
Fuck you, Sean. Movies are a subjective experience. Anyways, continue.
They
Let's
are.
just move on. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. So that's 2-1 or 2-0. Fuck me. Let's keep going.
Sound.
Can I tie my vote?
Yeah, right. It's kind of funny, right? I like some of the music in the first one more. But
I'm gonna go with the new one because it had a more impressive soundscape. I think that's what's gonna tip it. Is that the variance of sounds was more than in the old one. That's the only thing that tips it.
Honestly, I think what tips it for me is that dope, super dope elevator beatbox scene. If they did more shit like that in the remake, what a cool, fun movie they could have made.
Yeah.
And just for that, like, point to sound. Honestly, otherwise it's really close.
Daniel, you're gonna vote the old one, I assume.
I am actually for the old one.
Are you really?
Yeah, I was annoyed by how generic and derivative the score was for Ninja Turtles, and it like the music in the OG was cheesy, and like it kind of felt like I was listening to what a dad thinks kids listen to in the 90s.
Okay.
But I mean, original music, some of them were bangers. I'm into it. So let's do OG.
Shout out to that Turtle Power rap.
Partners in crime.
In the credits. Yeah. Crime, man. KRYME.
All right, Daniel, you've lost every vote so far.
Yeah. So far, pointless.
Both of you can.
You can leave. You can sign off if you want.
Yeah. I don't fucking matter, clearly.
No,
Okay,
we love you.
That's good. I don't need your
pity. Final official category of act good.
Oh, this one gets it. No. I think both Megan Fox is atrocious. Aside from that, kind of across the board, it's all kind of just mediocre for me. But the standouts are Whoopi Goldberg and the guy who played Michelangelo. So the new one gets my vote for those two performances. I loved every moment they were both on screen, and I see your point about Casey, but I think he was outshined by a very charismatic Michelangelo and Whoopi fucking taking the first step towards Hollywood, man.
I really admire your case right now. I'm saying 1990.
Because of course you are.
Because it's better. Even the animatronics act better than Megan Fox.
Oh man.
But that's one person. That's one person.
Yeah, Will Arnett.
Either, yeah.
Will Arnett is as good as
William
the other
Fichtner's not good either.
Which one's William Fichtner?
The Sachs.
Sachs.
Yeah, Eric Sachs. William Fichtner. Yeah.
He's
fine. He gets the job done at least.
He's the villain.
Yeah.
He knows what he's there for.
Yeah.
I have to go with the 1991 merely because the turtle. If I'm focusing on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, I want the group of turtles that makes me feel things, and the new ones didn't make me feel things.
I was more connected to the acting of the puppet Splinter from the first one than like anything from the second one.
Yeah.
Fine.
Rewatchability.
Rewatchability, just to seal the deal here. Fucking 1990, baby.
Yeah, the 1990s one. Sorry.
I mean, don't apologize.
No, Daniel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I accept your apology, and I appreciate it.
I'm not sorry.
That's good. You can fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, Jack. Oh, wait, no, Jack, no.
No, Jack, no. I feel like I watched a different fucking version of this movie than you guys did. I didn't have that much fun at all in the first one.
You watched the German version.
I watched the blue version, which I actually really like. I mean, fuck you guys. I'm going new one.
Fair enough.
I have to stay true to my heart, you know? Not that it matters at this point.
We successfully bullied Daniel out of any satisfaction this week. 4-1.
That's not bad. I'm glad that it wasn't a clean sweep.
But even the one was our votes. Sean.
I know.
I know.
So that's fine.
That's
the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. And that means that the Citizen Kane of the week is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
The yeah,
Oh.
the one from the 90s, the first one.
1990. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Ninja Turtles. May you rise again.
Congratulations. Hey, I mean, they had the sequel to the reboot in 2016, I think. Out of
I
the
heard that
Shadows.
performed very poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they
big
should.
rhinos in it.
Who was?
Oh, the
It has-
rhino, the two
it has
rhinos.
big,
Yeah.
Oh,
rhino
yeah.
twins or something in it.
They're called. It's like Beatbox, and
And Hickory Stick.
what are they called? Anyway,
Is that true, or did you
Bebop.
make that up?
They're called Bebop and something.
Bebop and
They're like named after like jazz styles. Yeah.
right.
I think they should just join the MonsterVerse, and I want to see them like
And fight King Kong?
Yeah. And King Kong just like smushes them.
There is a Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover comic series.
That's sick.
And
Yeah.
a cartoon that just came out, I think.
Yeah?
Actually. Yeah.
Really? What?
They're
the
still going.
fuck?
That's so crazy. Well, that's it. That's it. The podcast
That's
is essentially done now. We got some
We're
picks
done.
for next week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel.
It's my week, right? Yes, we do
Yes,
have some
sir.
picks. We do have some
All
picks.
right.
That's good. What are we gonna watch?
Well, I'm kind of glad now because you guys were such assholes to me.
Yep.
So I've been on a pretty substantial professional wrestling kick lately.
Oh no.
So we're gonna venture into the land of
No.
professional wrestling next week.
No.
Classic movies.
Yeah. What?
Well, the classic is a bit more of a contemporary classic. It'll for sure be a
It's
classic.
from 2018.
It's from 2008, but it's a
Okay.
Darren Aronofsky movie
Okay.
called
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah,
Wrestler.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah. Fair. Agreed.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Great. Oh, this is great.
And we are going to be pitting
I
it
said
against
prematurely.
the equally classic movie based on a now defunct. Is that the word defunct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's a word.
Wrestling promotion known as WCW. It is starring the ever talented David Arquette, and it is 2000's Ready to Rumble.
Oh no, you son of a bitch. Fuck you. I know this film. I don't know the film. I just know its poster and I
Yeah.
hate it.
I think you're going to be surprised at how similar the plots of these movies actually are.
Okay.
I'm like looking this up right now.
Oh, I hate that cover.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
boy.
what? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's gonna be great. Tune in next week if you want. Did we do our call to action?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Twitter.
Okay. Yeah.
Just said Twitter. Tune
Just
in.
come on Twitter.
And you'll learn
Get our
if you go to
Twitch
Twitter.
updates on Twitter. Well,
Yeah,
I
and you'll
post
learn about how we sometimes
right.
occasionally tag Carrie always and try and get him on the show. Hashtag
As-
come
yeah.
on Carrie.
at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Is it really?
Yep.
Bless you.
And he hasn't blocked us yet.
Hey.
Has he responded at all?
No.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Carrie, it's all out of love, you know? You could come and talk to us about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, you're missing out. Like, I don't know why he's pretending like he has better stuff to do.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Well, Jack, can you give us your best impression of what you would do if you were a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in an elevator?
Ooh. All right, I'll give it a shot, but I
Yeah.
might need y'all to back me up. Citizen Kane fucking versus